Hello guys, welcome back to another video. So today we're looking at the Alephium hash rate. So currently it's been moving very quickly and is rising quite a lot. Over the past, let's just say a month. Over the past month it's gone from around 1.5 petahash past the 3 petahash mark and all the way nearly touching into 3.5 petahash. So we've had a doubling of hash rate within the month. I think the next month is probably going to double as well. We'll get into the reasons why, how many units are actually going to come online. Because I've seen some YouTubers today, they got their AL0s for Alephium mining. And I'm supposing that a lot of other people that did pre-order got those as well. So there's going to be a lot more hash rate coming onto the network over the next coming days. We normally see this when people get their ASIC miners, obviously. And how that affects the profitability of every other miner on the network. So a massive rise already within the last month, and I think it's just going to continue to go up. We saw it with Casper coin. That is a moving train that really can't be stopped. Same with Bitcoin as well. Even in the bear market, the hash rate was moving up a substantial amount, even when there wasn't so much sentiment around Bitcoin mining. So yeah, the hash rate on the network has risen quite a lot. You can just see it in that little chart there. Transactions on the network, I don't think that's really effective of how much the network's being used by miners, but you can see that it's kind of dipped off a little bit right there. If we click hourly, we can actually see by hour how much the hash rate has risen and fallen. So it got all the way up to 3.7 petahash right there. I don't know if this is, well, that's definitely in the morning. So yesterday morning it was at its peak of 3.7 petahash, but I think we're definitely going to be higher. Even a week from now or even a month from now, we're going to be probably double what we see here. So currently when we are looking at ASICs, we obviously have the AL1, which hasn't realistically come onto the network in full. There might be some testing going on, but that one hasn't been fully shipped out to everyone to start mining on. I know that the gold shell ones have been on the network for quite a while, so this is kind of probably why we're seeing this go up. Let's change it back to daily. So this is mainly, I think, because of the gold shell coming on the network. So we have the two versions of that coming onto the network. They're already mining. This is kind of what the profitability actually looks like. Because the AL1 isn't released yet, I'm not believing that this is the profitability at the time. Hash rate is going to increase. So basically, if hash rate doubles, it should mean that the difficulty has adjusted by double, which, if Alephium stays at the same price, these profits should be slashed in half, in theory. Currently, those people who are mining on the AL0 now and have got them yesterday, today, just over the weekend in general, they're going to be making around $9 per day at 10 cents. If we just up it here to like 15, you can see it's still relatively efficient for the AL0 and anything else mining on Alephium right now. So there's not really much difference in profitability as we go up in the electricity cost there. However, I'm also going to warn against buying one of these now, just because we are going to see a massive amount of hash rate come on from the AL1. Remember, with these things, we saw it with Casper coin as well. With the KS0, people who got them first did very well, and the other ones didn't do necessarily as well in terms of mining the amount of coins and the price appreciation of those coins. It still did good, but you were mainly focusing on profitability. And with the KS0, profitability wasn't necessarily a thing because it's only 100 watts. So you're not really expending that much per day and you're getting quite a lot back in coins. And a lot of people weren't even selling their coins off. They were just keeping all the coins and paying it out of pocket, which would net you more in the future. And subsequently, it has paid off quite well. I don't actually know why Cadena is here. That's got to be something wrong with the website. Anyway, when we come on to the Antminer AL1, so as I said, people have got their AL0s and they will be arriving very soon for those people who haven't got it on the first order batch. You can already see that the profitability right here, you can just see it on the chart, is starting to drop very rapidly. So you have 31st of July, so if we go back here, 31st of July is right here, so we're at 1.7 petahash, and the profitability is around 750, and then it drops all the way down to 336 by today's date. So that does track what I was saying about the hash rate doubling. As soon as it doubles, the profitability gets slashed in half. It has dropped by half, these obviously haven't come online. We are going to kind of look at what that means when it does come online, because we have 15.6 terahash. I don't know how many units are going to actually come on the network, but I'm assuming it's around 500. And if it's more, that's even worse. As I said, I don't have any information on how many units Bitmain actually produce of these. They could produce 1,000 units. They could produce 2,000, 3,000. I'm going to go with a very minimal figure of 500. So we take the petahash and we times it by 500 units. That gives us 7.8 petahash, which is going to come onto the network. So this puts it at around 10 petahash already. If they have maybe, let's just say 2,000 units on there that they are selling, that's going to be 31 petahash. So your profitability is basically going to be slashed by a factor of 10. So it's $300 now for the AL1. It's going to be more like $30 per day. So kind of in line with what we see on these Casper miners here. Around $20 to $30 per day for each of these. Obviously, depends on the price of electricity. But that's only from the AL1s. I don't know how many units Ice River are producing of the AL0s. It's definitely not going to be as much hash rate as we're going to see from all of these coming onto the network. So as I said, 31 petahash is quite a lot, and that's going to really up the difficulty. So now is kind of the window. We've kind of been saying this in the videos. Now is the window. When that transition goes from FPGAs over to ASICs, it's probably the best time to get in to the coin early and actually yield a bunch of the coin before it basically becomes, unprofitable. This is what mainly happens with Bitcoin mining, with Casper mining. You're going to see less home mining happening as the network grows bigger, because the mining facilities kind of have the capital and can buy more miners, and they have better electricity rates. So you see a transition every time. It's like GPU miners are more home miners, and then once a coin goes over to FPGAs, there's a certain subsector for that as well. And then when it flips over to ASICs, you have, around a year of people home mining and stuff like that, and kind of gouging profitability towards the end. And then it kind of flips over to mining farms. So home miners do get pushed out relatively quickly as soon as it kind of switches over to FPGAs, because not a lot of people have access to them. But then when it switches over to ASIC further, that's when they can have this window of opportunity to make some money. So overall, it is good for the network. When we look at the price of Alephium in the last 7 days, it's, well, I can't really say that because Bitcoin's up, but let's just go for the last month. It hasn't really particularly been too good. I think this is the lowest that it's been within the year. However, at the start we did talk about price following hash rate. I still think it tracks kind of, because you have investments into the miner machines, which means there's more hash rate, which secures the network more. That means that people have to continuously make investments into the network in a mining perspective. They're going to want to hold the coins. Holding the coins is going to decrease the supply onto the network, and therefore demand should go up. Obviously, there's a whole load of other things that come in as well. But I do think that we will see, the price start to rise a little bit more when those Bitmain miners come online, just because of the amount of hash rate that is coming online. Inversely, you could have a point where the hash rate is kind of outperforming the price, and that basically makes everything unprofitable, and that can kind of ruin a coin at some point. Kind of like what happened with Cadena mining, because it was so overvalued, and everyone bought those miners and basically flooded the network with hash rate, and everything became unprofitable. So let me know if you've got the AL0 or have any allocations to, Gold Shell or Bitmain. Right now you're thinking of buying one. If you are, just leave a comment down below and, give us your price predictions for Alephium. Make sure you like the video and subscribe for more content like this.